I'll take it off of pause. Yep, there we go. So I was saying, maneuvers are going to be quite close. It's now 33 minutes away. Let's see, when's this one's coming up? Hour and 20. So yeah, we can take care of this one first. Actually caught the stream doing it that time. I had Twitch telling me that we were still streaming. I had our capture tray saying that we were still streaming. It's still saying viewers. And only because I had the actual broadcast up was I able to see it at all that it stopped. So what the hell? Just some auto aim retrograde. Okay, stable orbit. That's all we needed. Back to our cleanup probe. Warp this in nice and close. Use a maneuver just for timing. We'll aim retrograde to target. And when our node is, I think we said 14 seconds away, we're going to start burning. We're 14 seconds. 14 seconds away. No longer need our node. Wow, okay. Actually still fuel in this stage. I'm amazed. And this relay is, or we're calling it a relay all this time, is really just a second stage from one of our early rockets, launching those early orbiters to try and rescue Nedbo. Stuck an antenna on it so we could have improved communication reaching out as far out as Nedbo was, which turned out to not even be necessary later on down the road. Turned out all our problems were solar panel related. All right, now start moving towards target. Finally. This was actually fairly successful. I think the highly elliptical orbits are probably going to be the more difficult ones, though. Starting to come into view now. Okay, so it's a good thing I brought RCS for this. Whoops. I went too far. How did that happen? Just not paying attention. It's going to go out in front of it here. So I noticed this before when I was having issues docking or grabbing one of these craft. What was happening is you have to actually grab the part that you target, and we can't re-pick the part that we're targeting on this debris. So we have to very specifically target the dock with this forward adapter piece. We gotta make sure we grab that dead on the first time, or we'll introduce a unpowered spin, and it will be a nightmare to deal with. So in short, I'm very glad for RCS this time. Okay. Docking mode. Linear RCS. Gonna arm our grabber. Hilariously, these things had batteries on them, which would have been actually what I was missing on the orbiters. So if I just put those batteries in the orbiters instead, I would have been fine. Instead of trying to make these relays. We're looking really good for a perfect grab there. Yes! Look at that. That was professionally done. Oh, and here's the other thing. I put extra solar panels on these things, too. So all the stuff that I was actually having problems with, I put on here, and then just left it behind. There's no actual fuel on this, right? Nope, no actual fuel. So yeah, this was a dual engine second stage at one point. That's what I thought. Okay. We're going to work on deorbiting this now. We'll use the reserve fuel for this step. Make sure we're bringing this hunk of trash all the way back to Kerbin for an impact, which we are. Release it. Aim prograde. I have to be in the right thing here. Drop our lower stage. So that debris is now also going to fall onto Kerbin. And now we can try and recover this for possibly one more rescue. Or one more cleanup, I guess I should say, is probably the correct term. But probably not, honestly. Oh, yep. Actually, not looking too bad. Not looking too bad. We might be able to just deorbit one more bit of space debris with this thing. Not a bad cleanup drone. We'll let that go back and do its thing. We need to work on getting our moon transfer vehicle into the moon station. So let's set up our rendezvous burn. So we want the Valentina Kerman station as target. We're going to bring it down to the correct altitude. Use radial shifting to get us to the correct timing. The best we're going to get because of the inclination difference, but that's fine. The inclination on the way. Actually, it's pretty much at the inclination node there. Huh. Well, that'll be fine. 0.6 is fine either way, actually. So we'll turn towards our maneuver. We will time warp to it. Or at least near it. So I got some time to maneuver if needed. Nope, we are good. So a 3-second maneuver. I'll wait till we're about 1 second away. And after docking with the moon station, I think that'll be stream. That'll be it for the night. Although I do want to check first if I could fix those darn solar panels that broke. So I have no idea if that's doable. Okay, we got a little bit of correction to do here. Let's try to do this quickly. Perfect. Alright, so our real intersect is at 0.9, so it is not as ideal as we were hoping. But, knowing why, I might just go ahead and just try and do some blind maneuvering here. Okay, that made it definitely worse. That made that significantly worse, yes. So let's not do that. Be this way. Do you think this is right? Time paradox can exist in space, and that could be a black hole, but that goes against physics. There's a thing called white hole, which could be time paradox. The space it takes the speed of light. Time paradox. I don't know if you'd consider a black hole a time paradox. It does definitely warp time, but I don't think you'd call that a paradox necessarily. Well, we did improve this to 0.7. At least that was something. So let's try just doing some tiny little maneuvers with... Nope, we're making it worse. So that's cool. We can just... Come back the other way. 0.6, okay. Nope, made it worse again. Finding the happy medium. It looks like 0.6. Probably the best we can do. I want to try and figure out 165.1 meters a second of delta V. You know, how many seconds of burn that actually will be. 165 meters per second. Be about a 6-second burn. So we can warp ourselves down here. Humans have never been in a black hole, so we're just making guesses. Right or not. Well, the definition of a time paradox would be like if something you were doing was like a causality issue. So it wouldn't be like a paradox per se. But you're right, they wouldn't know for sure if they're actually warping time or not. Target retrograde. Alright, now set a maneuver for our closest point of intersect, which is 44 seconds away. So at 4 seconds away, I'm going to attempt to decelerate. Oh, a temporal paradox of two paradoxes. Consistency. Oh, see, I'm thinking of consistency paradoxes. I got you. See, I was only thinking specifically of consistency paradoxes for whatever reason. Oh, a little bit of lag. A little bit of lag for our massive station. Not so massive anymore, actually, since we deorbited parts of it. Okay. Little tiny bit of change here. There we go. We are station keeping off at 621 meters. We're going to go aim directly at the station. What's your goal in the game? Basically, explore. That's basically it. Space program simulator. So right now we're working on unlocking parts and expanding the range of everything we have. Right now we're just basically stuck to moon missions. But there's nothing necessarily wrong with that for the moment. Alright, I'm going to get us heading towards the station relatively fast compared to normal. Just over to docking mode. Down that way. And that's not close enough yet to start setting target. I can do it from the map view though. So I can kind of start aiming. Although it is approaching relatively fast, so maybe I should just kind of go with it. So this will bring our crew up to 7 Kerman on our moon station at the moment. And finally an engineer. Haven't had an engineer on since the Moon Expedition 1 crew. So let's start decelerating. The engineer right now is the vital part because I did manage to clip a solar panel, and just entirely out of curiosity and entirely not out of necessity at all, I want to know if an engineer can actually fix a solar panel in space. I know in real life that would be almost impossible. Unless you had a replacement with you. So I don't want to go for like a perfect dock here. I just want to get us fairly well lined up for the moment. So I'm going to go back to station keeping. We're going to turn off our RCS thrusters, switch back to rotation mode, make sure our station is also on rotation mode, and we will get them to aim directly at each other. Just to make this a little easier. Since we still have a small station here that we can manipulate fairly easily. Not totally easily, but at least reasonably. Okay, then we want to line up here. Very good. That looks about what I was going for. So we can go back to linear, turn the RCS thrusters back on, and we can move in and go for final dock. So we've got our 2 moon landers over there. We've got already 3 crewmen, including 2 scientists working in our science lab that's in orbit, allowing us to maximize the science from what we gather around the moon. Looking pretty good. Almost there. Mild alignment issues there. Slow our approach slightly. Yeah, this is looking really good. Almost there. Just keeping an eye on the nav ball for any last minute adjustments I might need to do. It's tempting to look at the ports, and I keep doing that, but really you want to look at the nav ball. And that was a perfect dock, if I do say so myself. So, all right. This is the entirety of our Expedition 2 crew. We can start transferring crew into the station. Scientists, first off. So they will be our next crew to go down for a moon landing. And then we have our engineer. We're going to put our engineer out on a crew module as well. We can also put Tedman in there. Oh, no, we can't. We'll put him in the center section here. So now, we need to go to our engineer and EVA. We got this one that's very nice and convenient to the solar panel that's damaged. Our headlamp on. I just don't know if that's something that can be done. I was pretty much at the point where I was saying I doubted it entirely, but it's worth checking. It's worth checking before I call it a night. Yeah, it does not look like it can. That's a shame. It's not major because we have a second solar panel on that that RCS drone. So that's a recovery drone that picks up the lander once it's in orbit. So it only really needs the one solar panel. But I was kind of hoping that would be something you could try and do. I figured that'd be or helpful. I guess I could just check, make sure like sitting on a ladder doesn't change that. Nope. Seems pretty cut and dry. Well, at least I can test our normal ladders. Which, hey, the upgraded lander. Well, you can, I guess, turn that off. Hold on. There you go. Turn that off. That's pretty cool, though. I wasn't sure if those ladders actually worked the new configuration, because the old configuration, it went in too much and they get caught right here and they wouldn't be able to climb up. But now the new lander is looking good. All right, we'll get our engineer back over to the crew module. In you go. All right. That's a pretty good place to call it for the night. It's been a very productive couple hours. Yeah, we got our rest of our crew over to the moon station. We deorbited some space debris that I was afraid I would never ever be able to deorbit. And what else did we do? Oh, yeah, we messed around with Minmus probes. So we'll be going and doing hopefully a station launch to Minmus fairly soon. I'm just waiting on a contract. I guess, and just real quick before I go, I guess, it's that we have already researched on both stations and just see if I can unlock something. Give us a better idea of what we'll do next time. Go see what we have in the tech tree. Well, I got just one little bit I'm going to do real quick. Now that I got everything set up for the moon station, before I call it a night, I'm going to go into R&D lab and see if I can't unlock something handy. Get an idea of what we're going to do tomorrow night. This is what I wanted, scanning tech. Fantastic. So we will be getting infrared telescopes so we can start scanning for asteroids. Surface scanning module so we can start looking for places to mine materials. Which we haven't unlocked anything to mine it with, but you know, that's coming up. Survey scanner for the same reason from orbit. And an atmospheric fluid spectrophotometer. This is just for pure science. This is for unlocking new parts. So, new science experiment to do. I will never say no to that. Ending the stream? I am. I'm just about there. I'll be coming back on tomorrow at 7 if all goes according to plan. Eastern Standard Time. Alright. Perfect. So I got our scanning tech for tomorrow's stream. There's other stuff I could be looking forward to for science, like this seismic accelerometer. That would be really soon. And there's maybe some other things I can look for around here and start picking around at, because we're going to have a lot of science coming in for those stations. It'll take them a while, but it's definitely a lot up there right now. The inline RCS tanks might be another good idea to do sometime soon. Alright, looking forward to seeing you on tomorrow's stream. And I think that's going to be it for the night. So I have to say thank you to everyone who watched tonight for watching. You can catch all our previous streams on youtube.com/dude I called you bro, which is down there at the bottom. I will be hopefully over next week cutting things down for some. I'm working on a format for stream summaries, so people don't want to watch the whole thing because they are kind of long and drawn out. Can kind of get an idea of what happened each episode. But with that, I think that's it. So thanks again, everyone, and have a great night.